Many people wish to have happiness in life, but unfortunately don't have the fuel for it. In reality, they are not willing to pay the price. The champion mentality is to be willing to go door to door to acquire new opportunities. The champion mentality is knowing how to prioritize action over emotion. I remember a long time ago in a foreign country we were refugees. We worked as security guards. There was a young man who was very brave. He didn't want to live that way anymore. He wanted to change his life, and wanted to go into electricity. Unfortunately, he didn't have the qualifications, so he couldn't be hired officially. So he started working without a contract in a company run by a white man. When he started, his former security guard colleagues started talking nonsense about him. They were just jealous. But in the meantime, they didn't want to progress. Instead of encouraging their brother, who had decided to progress, and to take an example from him, they stayed in their place and started to criticize negatively the courage of their former colleague. It is true that the young man was not qualified, but he had a lot of courage. He had the mentality of a champion. Unfortunately, one day, he had an accident at work. A serious accident. He was hospitalized. The people who criticized him at the beginning came once again to pour their venom. They mocked him saying, "He thought he could succeed. Let's see if he will make it now." Once out of the hospital, the man didn't give up. Despite his lack of experience, he was always there, always wanting to understand, never giving up, always wanting to learn, and his boss noticed this, and started to take a closer interest. One day, his boss finally decided to pay for his studies, so that he could have the knowledge he needed to work in such a company. Today, this gentleman is the manager of a big electricity company in a foreign country. Meanwhile, the people who criticized him before are still vigilant. Drowned in shame, no one can say hello to him, because they have changed class. Today we are going to talk about a very interesting subject. Many people have wishes in life. They want to have certain things. They want to change their life, but they don't have the character to do it. In fact, it is not enough to want a better life to have it. Everyone wants a better life. Everyone wants to be good. Everyone wants to live well. Everyone wants to have good conditions. But few are willing to pay the price to get there. Know one thing: if you don't go beyond what you are capable of, you will always remain where you are. In fact, what you are today is the result of what you are in reality. It is not by chance. It is not by luck. What you have as a salary, as money, as difficulties, is only the reflection of what you are inside. If you decide to add on what you are, you will also add on what you have. It is as simple as that. Unfortunately, many people refuse to recognize it. Only those who succeed admit that their situation is the result of who they are. It's not the fruit of chance, nor of magic. You have to take responsibility. If you really want something, you have to be ready to pay the price. The mentality of champions is when you wake up before everyone else, and go to sleep after everyone else. When you want to succeed, you spend all day working hard to improve your project. You sacrifice your pleasure time, your leisure time, to focus on one thing. The important thing. I saw a young man who was going to be hired in a television channel, very talented. Unfortunately, he was not a model employee. One day he was asked, "Why are you late?" He answered, I had to take a shower. I had to get dressed properly. I had to eat. I also wanted to take a nap. And as he was in a trial period, he was unfortunately separated from the company. Indeed, you may be talented, but you are not a champion. Life does not belong to the talented, life belongs to the hardworking. Muhammad Ali said, "Talent is worth nothing compared to effort." That is to say, the athlete who puts more effort into training, often ends up surpassing the talented athlete, when the talented athlete does not work. Listen, in life in general, it is not about talent, but work, efficiency, courage. I'll tell you another story. One day, there was a European company looking for agents in West Africa. They were looking for someone to represent an NGO. They were looking for someone with a PhD for that position. I know someone who applied. He didn't have a PhD. He didn't even have a bachelor's degree. But he told them, "I know you asked for a PhD. I don't have a PhD, but I'm willing to learn. I have the time. I've read enough about you and what you do." You know what happened? They hired him. And today he's the #1 in that NGO. He had no qualifications, but we saw his mentality, the need to participate, to learn. Many people want to have comfort in their life, but are not ready to make the effort. And usually it is this kind of people who become expert critics. These people often criticize everything. They are always talking about those who have succeeded. You have to take charge of your life, you know, if you decide to work on yourself, to build your future. You won't have time to talk about other people's lives, simply because you'll be too busy going on business trips, organizing meetings. The champion mentality is to work harder than everyone else. The champion mentality is when you're given a job to do in 48 hours, but you do it in 24 hours. The champion mentality is to stay on when everyone else is giving up. Again, it's not always about talent, skills, but sometimes about work, courage, being ready to take on. The reality is that many want to reap what they didn't, so you say that things are not moving forward in your life. But what have you done in contrast? If you have people around you who are killing your dreams, people who are stopping you from moving forward, think about separating yourself from them. This video is already coming to an end. Thank you for watching it. Also think about subscribing if you haven't done so yet. I'll see you very soon in a future video.